All right, and we are recording. So, hey everybody, my name is, and if you guys are just coming on, please go ahead and mute your phone or mute your computer. We want to make sure that we have your undivided attention. This is your time to learn how to teach an effective class. So I was one of the ones that I was super excited to go to Prague and experience at least firsthand. And I've got to tell you that if you have an opportunity to experience this, I highly recommend it because it is a treat to get to hear her speak, to experience her goodness, and just to hear direct from her, the top leader in the company. So we're all good and we're recording. And if you guys have any questions, please use the chat box. But I'm gonna do what Elise kind of had us do. Every time we're always thinking ahead because we've already been doing this business, right? We're already ahead of ourselves. We've been doing this business and we're gonna start thinking of things while we're learning this content. But I just wanna encourage you guys just to kind of hang tight and sit still. That question that you're thinking about, especially when we're teaching this part and how to teach a class, you may get that answer. So if you could hold off really quick. I know there's Simone. So if you guys are not mute, I may call you out. So I just want to make sure, it's not that I want to shame anybody. It's just that I want to, make sure that you guys are muted here. Okay. And all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Let me pull up my notes. So first of all, I asked in the beginning, before a few of you guys got on, who has been sampling and using Elise's technique to effective sampling. And one person said that they sampled before the class, and every single person enrolled. It's almost like the try before you buy, right? Yes, I can. I'm sorry.
Hey, buddy.
Iron Man.
I don't see the mute all, Allison. I apologize. Jenna Stoll.
Click on participants.
Click on participants.
And then you should have an option to mute all. I would do it, but I think you have to be the host.
Got it. Okay, I see it. Okay, everyone's been muted. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate it. See, this is how we work together as a team. All right, so here we go. I was talking about the sampling. So it's almost like if you are a runner, for example, I'm just not gonna go to Walmart or Kohl's or any other big box store to buy a pair of running shoes, especially if I'm training for like a marathon, for example. I'm actually gonna go to a running store where they're gonna look at my gait, they're gonna look at my feet, and they're gonna see how my feet operate and work when I walk. They're gonna bring out 3 options, and they're gonna say, hey, try these shoes on, walk around in them for a few minutes, go run on our treadmill, and see which shoe is gonna be the best type of shoe for you. So it's the try before you buy. And you actually have a better experience when you do that to your running store, and it's going to make your running more, it's going to be more, it's going to be better. You're going to get less injuries. So that's the method, that's kind of the method behind the sampling with Elise, is that you're giving people an opportunity to have an experience before they come to class or before they do their one-on-one. So I kind of wanted to give that analogy a little bit to the role of effective sampling. So, if you have not done a sample, here is your chance, okay? So our challenge to everybody in the Dream Team is to sample out 20 vials to 20 different people. But here's the thing, because you're learning today how to teach an effective class, you have to be ready to teach 2, 3, or 4 classes within a 10-day period to have people prepared and ready to get to. So you're gonna sample out your samples and you're gonna follow up and say, great, I've got 3 classes I'm teaching. Which one can you come to? And you're gonna give them 3 options to come to. Hopefully they can come to one of those 3 classes. If not, just say, well, you know what? No big deal. why don't you and I meet up for coffee, my treat, and we'll go over a little bit about how you can use essential oils for your family. So that is what we're challenging to you. If everybody samples out 20 sample vials to everybody, and I know Brittany talked about that last week, and you have your classes set, we're going to teach you how to set your class and how to book classes from classes. So how to get people to classes, first of all. Usually, Elise suggested that she feels, and if you've listened to the calls, great, but I'm just going to reiterate and kind of highlight a little bit some things just that may have been said, just to kind of reiterate it. 8 to 10 people per class. You do not want more than 10 people. If you have to have more than 10 people, you want to make sure that you have another wellness advocate there to support you. So for example, if you're launching a builder and they have like 15 people coming, great, but you have 2 wellness advocates that can help with the process and getting people enrolled. Typically, after you do an invite, about 30% of people will come. This is what Elise has found, that people will be coming. So we invite them to a class after they have had an experience. So I was just at a Epicure class today. My neighbor had an Epicure class. It's a organic, non-GMO spices, almost like a healthier version of Tastefully Simple. And so she invited me and I said, sure. And I invited some friends because I know how this works, right? I have one of my friends come. Well, she asked me a couple questions. She'd tell me how good their chocolate pudding was, and it was dairy free. And then Thursday, because the class was today, Thursday, I got the text, just a reminder about the class at 3 o'clock at her address. Please be on time. So I sent the text to my other friends that were coming. One said that she couldn't come. The other one said she would be there. And I let my friend know, and we were all there. So it was really great. And that's exactly the way Elise teaches us, is that we got to make sure that 2 days before the class, we're going to encourage the host or ourselves. We're going to say, send them a text. Hey, just a quick reminder that I've got a class at this date and time, at this date. Can't wait to see you. I've got some goodies I want to give to you. And you leave it at that. The goal is that we want to kind of get people excited to want to come to the class versus like, an obligation to get to a class, right? And then 2 hours before the class, you text again. I'm so excited to see you tonight. I have a surprise for you. And that's it. Again, you're getting people excited about wanting to come to your class. So you invite 10 and about 8 will come. If you have a bigger class than that, again, you want to make sure that you have other wellness advocates there to support you, or that you're there supporting your other wellness advocates. So the hardest thing that's going to be hard for us to do is how to change how we teach our classes. It's like learning how to change how you brush your teeth. It doesn't feel like it's going to be you. But here's the thing. Elise has spent a lot of money doing a lot of research and learning about how to teach a class. What gets people to buy? What's the market like out there? So, and this is what she has learned through all of her research and the time and the money that she has put into learning this. So again, it's like someone telling you to start brushing your teeth with your left hand when you've been brushing your teeth with your right hand all along. It's going to feel awkward at first, but soon you're going to get the hang of it, and you're going to be brushing your teeth with your left hand like a pro. Actually, we probably should be doing that as we age. So Elise shared with us in Prague about this book called The Presentation Skills of Steve Jobs. Now, she basically told us about this book in a summary nutshell, so we didn't have to go out and buy it. But if you feel like you really need to read this book, go ahead. So here's the summary of the book. What makes Steve Jobs so great? What makes him so great? Well, one of the things that made him so great is that he was a very skilled presenter. He was able to take a very complicated product and present it in a way that was so simple and so powerful that everyone thought it was easy to use. Do you guys know what this product was? It was the launch of the iPhone, right? So he changed this. So what she learned in this book is that he presented 3 things, okay? So here he is in 2007, getting ready to present the iPhone. So when he introduced it, The key to how he presented this info was 3 things. And this is what he said. I want to tell you about a new product I have. And there are 3 really, really cool things about it. 1, it's a computer. 2, it's an MP3 player. And 3, it's a phone. And like people are like, what? A computer, an MP3 player, and a phone all in one? Like, okay, just imagine this. Like the crowd goes wild, right? Woohoo, woohoo. And then he says, remember, so some of you guys may remember this, right? I do. But remember the old stylus? You know, you had to like the stylus and you had to like use this apparatus to like press on and on, you know, on this palm, you know, this handheld palm thing. I forget what they called it, right? So he goes again, he's like, we have created the most amazing stylus and that you can never lose it because it's this pen. And sometimes if attached to your apparatus, it may have fallen off and you got lost and then you gotta go buy a new stylus, right? So he says, and you can never lose it. Do you want to know what it is? And he shares, well, it's your finger. And the crowd's like, what? My finger on this portable device that's an MP3 player, that's a computer and a phone? Like, sign me up. So Apple created this amazing technology called the multi-touch. And it changed technology of the phone forever. So the first touchscreen was introduced, and everybody goes home to tell their partners and their spouses all about this phone. And they go home and they tell their spouses these 3 things. Oh my gosh, Apple comes out with a new product. It's an MP3 player, it's a computer, and it's a phone. Like, we've got to go out and get this product. And what happens? Everybody went out and bought the iPhone. And since then, it's the most popular phone still to this date because they keep updating it. So here's the thing, right? His presentation was simple, it was succinct, and the way he showed it was really, really cool. So like, I totally remember my husband going out and buying the first generation iPad. Like, he's not like a big shopper, but he's like, I had to have this thing. He didn't even know why he had to have the very first iPad, but he was convinced that he needed it, and he used it until it died, right? So he just had to have it. So think about it. How many things could Steve Jobs have presented about the iPhone when they first introduced it? There are like thousands of different things that he could have introduced when the iPhone was launched. But he chose not to because he understood the power of duplication. And that's what we're going to teach you today, is that oils is going the same way. So I'm going to ask you to do something, especially to those who are super, super knowledgeable and in the medical profession, and those who have gone through extensive trainings. This is going to be very hard for you because I know it was hard for me, right? It's going to be hard for me when I start teaching more classes because I have to undo and unthink the way I've been teaching classes for the last few years, right? Like early on, like everybody, when everyone first started doing doTERRA, it was like, watch Callie Wilson's presentation on YouTube and how to teach a class. And it was so simple that like it had no problem enrolling people. And then we got smarter, right? We started learning more about education and about the oils. And even I started over teaching the class to the point where I'd get to a class, I'm like, great, you know, how can I help you today? They're like, I just think I want breathe. Because the only thing they remembered breathe for was to stop their husband from snoring. They couldn't remember anything else I taught because I over taught the class. So we're all gonna have to kind of learn how to redo the way we teach classes. So believe that when you stand in front of the room, the more you say, the more you talk, and the more you show that you know, the more you come off as an expert. And you think by teaching more, that more is going to sign up, but this is not true. They may sign up as a product user, but the last thing they are going to say is when they're sitting in the class is like, that's exactly what I want to do and learn and teach. No, they're not. And what they're really thinking was, there's no way in heck I'm going to be able to teach this class and ever do what she wants to do. So I am not like that. I can't talk like that. I can't memorize those big old words, okay? And it becomes overwhelming and we're not being duplicatable. And over teaching the classes is going to slow down your duplication process and slow the growth of your team down. So this is why it happens is if we're all feeling a little stuck because we're over teaching. And the system that Elise has been doing is so simple and so beautiful and so effective. So your job as a presenter is to come to this first class, getting people excited to show that they can do this too. It does not matter your degrees and certifications you have. And in fact, this is not the time to share or tell people that, oh, well, I'm a nurse, or I'm a nurse practitioner, or I'm a chiropractor. You just need to be who you are. So the goal of this is to teach you all how to make a leapfrog presentation that's easy to use and easy for everyone to follow. So what Elise told us is that it's so simple that a fifth grader can teach this class with oils that are so complicated, because oils are complex, but we need to teach it down to a fifth grade level. So we're going to be we're bringing this down so we don't have to overcomplicate the way we teach. So, so without that, I'm going to go ahead and I need to go on and share my screen. So here we go. All right. So hopefully that helped. Here we are. It's loading. Sorry, guys. There we go. So how to teach an essential oil class. So the most important things that I want you all to walk away with today is that this class is going to be super interactive, and it's going to be really fun for your participants, and it's going to be fun for you to teach. It's going to be simple and duplicatable. It is effective. Did I mention it was going to be simple too? We're going to make it feel easy and light so that everybody who comes to your class can feel that they can do this too. And this is all based on calls 11 through 25 and the daily mentoring calls. So you can actually go back and listen to these things, but I just put it all into one presentation. So prepping for your class. So when you're prepping for your class, again, you're gonna have like one simple bag that you're gonna keep things in. You're gonna have a bottle of peppermint, wild orange, On Guard, Deep Blue, and LLV. And that is really it. And your diffuser. You're gonna have 10 to 15 sample vials of various types of oils. Class handouts are optional. You're gonna need enrollment forms, and you're gonna need pens. You're gonna want keychains to book classes. 8 to 10 essential oil books or essential oil A to Z guidelines. Elise prefers the Oil Life book because she thinks the Modern Essentials book is a little bit too complicated. Be definitely more for those who want more in-depth chemistry and science. You're going to actually have water with about 3 to 4 oiled options, but no food. That's it. No food. So you're gonna maybe have like a pitcher of water, and then you're gonna have like lemon and wild orange, maybe lime, grapefruit, lemon sassy, but just 3 to 4 oils that they can actually flavor their own water with. You're gonna create an environment that's free of distractions, and we will keep the presentation to 45 minutes. So your class structure and outline is gonna look like this. You're gonna have a welcome, and you're gonna set the intentions for the class. You gotta share your story, just like Steve Jobs. You're gonna share 3 cool things about oils. And then you're gonna share 3 ways to use the oils. You're gonna share experiences. You're gonna talk about the wholesale kits and their options to buy. And you're gonna talk about the 3 different types of people. That's kind of like your semi-introduction to business, the business side. And then you're gonna end with your most powerful testimony. And that's gonna be about 45 minutes from there. So your essential oil is going to begin with your introduction, your intention, and your story. This is about 3 minutes long. So you're introduce who you are, how long you've been using the oils, and how long you've been doing the business. Your intention is to help them understand the power of essential oils and how it can change their health and their family's health. And you're gonna say exactly this: I've done my job today if you leave this class knowing 3 cool things about essential oils. I mean, already that sounds like a lot of fun, right? Just like Steve Jobs said, I want to share it with 3 cool things about this new product that we are launching. It was simple, wasn't it? Because you still remember, it's a computer, it's an MP3 player, and it was a phone. So, and then you're going to give a short testimonial of how doTERRA essential oils has changed your life. This should be no more than 1 minute long, and it should not be your most powerful testimony. Your most powerful testimony comes at the end of the class. So it's going to start with something like this. Hi, my name is Jasmine Jaffarelli. I've been using essential oils for over 10 years, but I've been using doTERRA for 7. I decided to join this business about 6 months after I signed up with my wholesale account. So I've been doing this business for approximately 6.5 years. My intention for today is to get you to understand how essential oils can change your health and your family's health and wellness. I've done my job today if you leave this class knowing 3 cool things about essential oils. I'll never forget 3 months using essential oils. My son, who has a drug allergy, was spiked a fever of 103.5. Typically, my go-to was to put cold socks on him and to do skin-to-skin contact. However, it was not working. A friend of mine gave me some lime oil, and I looked up in a book, just like a book that's on the coffee table right there that you see. And I opened it up and I looked for fevers. And in there, it said lime oil. So I thought I would give it a try. I took 2 tablespoons of a carrier oil, and I put 2 drops of lime oil into it. I mixed it up, and I put it right on the bottom of his feet. Within 10 minutes, his fever went down 2 degrees. My husband, who is an attorney, was shocked by it and was skeptical. And he had said, "What did you use to help lower his fever?" I said, "Lime oil." He said, "Lime oil?" I said, "Lime oil." And that began our more detailed journey into using essential oils for my entire family. That's it. That took about 3 minutes long, right? And I got to tell you, I share that testimony already every single time. So I know it like the back of my head. And every single time, they always add lime oil to their kit because I share that testimony. People don't want to use medicines for fevers. They want to use something else. And that was my testimony of lime oil. That's the truth, by the way. So that is, I set the introduction, I set my intention, and I shared a really quick testimony. Wasn't life-changing, it wasn't powerful, but it was my testimony. So we're going to dive into this a little bit, but just like she talks about the presentation skills of Steve Jobs, there's always going to be 3 new things. There's 3 cool things about the oils, 3 ways to use the oils, and there's 3 types of people who can use essential oils. So we're going to dive into each of these in just a little bit, but this starts to set the tone that we're always going to be highlighting 3 specific points so that people can go home and remember these 3 things. Because remember, my goal is to have them leave the class knowing 3 cool things about essential oils. So here we go. There are 3 cool things about essential oils. The first cool thing about doTERRA essential oils is that they're 100% safe and natural. There's nothing added to the oil or nothing taken away from the oil. They're just simply pure oils with no side effects and no addictions. They're safe for babies, children, and adults, and the elderly. Oils are extracts from plants that have amazing health benefits. A pure oil is about 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. In fact, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea. So they are really potent. To help you feel how powerful doTERRA essential oils are, let me give you an experience with one of the most important essential oils, and that is peppermint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up 3 people from the class, right? So we're going to say, I want 3 volunteers to come up and have an experience with the oils. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a peppermint, and I'm going to put a drop of peppermint in all of your palms. I'm going to put it in my palm too. So you're going to put the drops of oil into their hand, and you're going to put it in their hand, right? Okay, so this is all a joke, right? Because we got to keep the class fun and light. So this is what Elise goes on to say. Okay, everyone dab their finger in the oil and put it in their eye. I go, oh, just kidding, haha, okay. So I know of a class where someone was trigger happy and actually did that, and it didn't feel good. So you ever got oils in a sensitive part of your body, just use a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil and directly apply it into the affected area. It will take away the sting really fast. You can actually use a lot of different carrier oils like olive oil or jojoba oil. The reason why we like to use fractionated coconut oil is really good for your skin and it doesn't leave an oily residue. So here we go. Let's try this again. Now don't be afraid to dab the tip of your finger in the oil and then press the finger onto the roof of your mouth. And you're going to do this with them. Now the other way we'll use it is by rubbing it in between the palms of our hands and then cupping our hands together to breathe deeply. We call this the scent tent. See if you can breathe that in for 30 seconds. And you're gonna go ahead and inhale and breathe the oil into their cupped hands. Everyone's gonna breathe it in for about 30 seconds. And you're going to ask, how does that feel? You're gonna pause, you're gonna wait for responses. So that one drop of peppermint was equivalent to you drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea. That is how powerful our essential oils are. What I love about these oils is the CPTG standard. It stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And it means that these oils are completely pure and potent. Pure means that there is no foreign contaminants, fillers. Potent means that each plant was grown in the part of the world where that plant grows best, resulting in the absolute best chemistry for that plant. When you have an ideal natural chemistry, the essential oil extracted does exactly what we want it to do for our health. So the first cool thing about essential oils is that they are 100% safe and natural. So, and then you're gonna ask the class, who can tell me the first cool thing about essential oils? And so a lot of people are gonna be hesitant to raise their hand in the beginning, right? Because not everybody's ready to participate. So whoever answers the oil wins a sample bottle. So if let's say one person raises their hand and say, great, tell me one cool thing about essential oils. And they're gonna say, oh, they're 100% pure and natural. And you say, oh my gosh, that's great. I'm gonna give you a sample of oil. You're gonna pull out a vial from your little bag and you're gonna say, oh, look, I've got lavender. I really love lavender for its calming benefits. All you have to do is just put a drop on your wrists before you go to bed at night and just help to feel a calming state of relaxation. Thank you for participating. Here's your lavender oil. And that's it. You give them a vial of lavender. They're excited to win something. And what happens is that everybody else in the class goes, well, I want some prizes too, right? So just wait, because now we're going to talk about the second cool thing. The second cool thing about essential oils is that they are more effective than many modern approaches to health problems. First, I'm going to ask, do we have any medical professionals in the room? If you do, then you're going to proceed to say, okay, what I'm going to share next is going to sound very elementary to you. Most of us in this room do not have medical training. The medical training you do. So what I'm really going to do is simplify things so that this makes sense to everyone. So let's go back to Biology 101. Is that okay? So what this does is that if you do have, medical professionals in your audience, this is going to prevent the hecklers from mocking you, right? Because then you've acknowledged that they're a medical professional, you've acknowledged that they are smart, and you've acknowledged that they are degreed, right? But we need to keep this as simple as we can so that everybody can understand and have an experience. So what you're going to do next is that you're going to go back to your basic Biology 101. So let's say this is a cell in your body. And what you're going to do is that you're going to hold up your fist. You're going to make a fist and just hold it up. This is a cell in your body. And what we know that cells have an oily cell membranes. The cell membrane protects the cell. It keeps all the good things in and all the bad things out. Now, two of the things that are harmful to our cells are bacteria and viruses. Bacteria usually forms outside the cell and viruses duplicate the DNA on the inside of your cell. All you have to remember is that bacteria is outside the cell and viruses are inside the cell. So let's say, for example, you went to the doctor with a bacteria infection. What would he recommend to give you? So you're gonna ask the audience, what would they recommend? They're gonna say antibiotic. Okay, so you take your antibiotic, and after you're taking the antibiotic for 7 to 10 days, in most cases, it will probably clear up the infection. But it often comes with wreaking havoc on your gut, hormones, and your entire immune system. Now, if you had a virus like the cold and flu, what would he say? Well, and you're going to ask the audience, well, what would he say? And they'll say, go home, drink lots of water, rest, let it run its course, right? The reason why is because most modern recommendations are water-based synthetic agents and frequently come with side effects and addictions. Here's the thing, water and oil do not mix. So if the recommendation from your doctor is water-based, it will have a really hard time penetrating through the oily cell membrane and stopping the duplication of a virus. Essential oils are different. They are oil-based, which means they can permeate the cell membrane, they can work on a cellular level without the side effects or addictions, and they can combat bacteria on the outside of the cell and prevent the duplication of viruses on the inside. That is why they are often more effective than the modern approach to health problems. That is the second cool thing about essential oils. So tell me, what's the second cool thing about essential oils? Okay, so by this time, your audience is pretty more excited to participate because they know they're going to get a sample vial. So whoever answers the question will get a sample vial. And then, you ask the question, they answer it, you're going to pull up a vial and say, oh, this is On Guard. I love On Guard because it actually helps to protect our immune system and it keeps our immune system protected. And I love to use On Guard, 1 drop in hot water to make an On Guard tea, especially at the first sign of a sore throat. Here is the On Guard oil. I hope you enjoy it. Boom, right? So now here's what's going on, you guys, is that we're not teaching about every single oil in a class. We're pulling it out, we're given a sample, and then we're teaching them, the person directly, how to use this oil, but everybody else is listening to how you're sharing that one thing. You're not gonna share the 3 ways you can use On Guard. You're gonna share one way how to use On Guard, okay? And people are gonna go, oh, yeah, okay, like I can use On Guard to make On Guard tea when I got a sore throat. Got it, cool, okay, great. So let's talk about the third cool thing, right? The third cool thing about essential oils is that it's cheaper than traditional medical care. So let me explain. This is another interactive way to get your audience engaged and to help them understand that they have natural health care solutions. Excuse me, guys. Who can tell me their copay for visiting their doctor? So let people volunteer their copay until you can find the cheapest one in the room. And don't worry if someone just says 0, just go with the lowest number. And if your doctor gave you a prescription for an antibiotic, how much would it cost to fill that prescription? Again, let the people volunteer how much they spend on the prescription until you found the cheapest one. Once again, do not be worried if someone says 0, the numbers will work out. When someone in my family has an ear infection, we rub 2 drops of lavender and 2 drops of melaleuca around the ear and put them to bed. 12 hours later, the ear infection is cleared up. It costs us about 64 cents. Now, whether it costs you $20 for the copay and the prescription, or whether it costs you $0 because you live in a country with free medical care, essential oils are still less expensive than the gas in my car you pay to go to the doctor's office. That's not including the half day of work you probably had to take off for this emergency. We also haven't taken into account the fact that antibiotics harm your gut, that you might have to buy extra probiotics for a few weeks to fix the damage, which is even more money. You see, we save hundreds of dollars a year in medical costs because of essential oils. You cannot afford to use natural solutions. That is why essential oils are cheaper than traditional medical care. And this is the third cool thing about essential oils. So can someone tell me the third cool thing about essential oils? Again, now you don't pick on the same person that's already got their vial, right? Because the goal in the class is for everybody to walk away with at least one vial of oil. So you pull out an oil and you go, oh my gosh, Melaleuca, this is great. I love to rub this on the bottom of my feet, my children's stinky feet, because it kills all the bacteria that makes their feet stinky. Boom, there you go, right? And then you're gonna end those three cool things. Who can tell me all three cool things about essential oils? Again, let someone answer the question. You pull another oil. Oh my gosh, this is digescent. Here you go. You explain one way that you use digescent, and then you proceed to move on. Okay? You proceed to move on the three ways to use the oils. So usually by this time, during between the three cool ways and the three ways to use the oils, is that you are now going to share some other experience about the essential oils. It should be another quick 1-minute testimonial specifically about how you use it aromatically, topically, or internally. Do not give an example of all three. So you're going to share about the time when your child had the stomach flu and you rubbed digestin and diluted a carrier oil topically and you rubbed it on their belly to actually help stop the flow of them from puking, whatever you want to say, right? So you're only going to share one way of how you use that oil. Keep it quick, keep it simple. Remember, simple is best. So you're going to say aromatically. Well, the three ways to use essential oils are aromatically, topically, and internally. Let's talk about the first way, and that is aromatically. So the first way to use essential oil is aromatically. Everyone take their fingers, right? So you're going to actually physically do this. You're going to say, everyone take your fingers and pinch right above the bridge of your nose. Everyone's going to mimic your gesture by this, right? Right under your finger, you're going to explain. Right under your finger is the olfactory nerve. Okay, you can take your fingers off because y'all look silly. So is your olfactory nerve. This nerve sends messages to the limbic system in your brain, which in turn sends messages all over your body. Sometimes people think it's hokey to say oils could affect the body by just smelling them, but let me illustrate. When you go to the hospital for surgery and need to put you under, how do they deliver the anesthesia? They don't give you a pill, and they usually don't give you a shot. They ask you to breathe through a mask and count to 10 or count down to 10. And most of us are completely under before we even get to 10. So when you breathe in those synthetic compounds through the mask, your olfactory system is powerful enough to send signals to your body to knock you out in under 10 seconds. It's the fastest way to access the brain. This happens exactly the same way with natural compounds found in essential oils. When we breathe in the natural compounds from the essential oils, they hit our olfactory nerve, and the olfactory nerve sends signals to the limbic system, which in turn sends signals to our entire body. This can happen in less than 30 seconds. So there are a few ways to use essential oils aromatically. You can breathe them right through your hands, like we did earlier with peppermint. You can use them in a diffuser, or you can breathe them right for the bottle. So let's have an experience with wild orange right now. So let everyone inhale 1 drop of wild orange from their hands. And you're going to ask them to describe the experience. And you're going to reply back and say, it's amazing, isn't it? Not only does it smell really good, but wild orange that has natural compounds that helps with stress and depression. I take wild orange with me wherever I go. So the first way to use essential oils is aromatically. Does anyone know the first way to use essential oils? The first way to use them? Again, someone's gonna raise their hand, you're gonna pull out a little sample vial, you're gonna go, oh look, frankincense, and then, boom, then they get frankincense, right? So that's how we're gonna keep the class fun and interactive. The second way to use essential oils is topically. You can actually apply oils directly to the skin. For children and people with sensitive skin, you'll want to dilute them with fractionated coconut oil. It is just as effective. It just takes a little longer to absorb. You can even apply oils at the bottom of your feet, including babies, and it won't bother them. The pores in the bottom of your feet are really big, and the oil absorbs very quickly into the bloodstream. It's a great way to get oils into your system fast. What health concerns would be the best way to use topical application of essential oils? So you're going to let people answer and comment of some different ways. They may say headaches, they may say cramps, they may say, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, yes, you know, so you're going, yeah, that's, you know, oh, of course. So you're going to be interactive with them. So the second way to use essential oils is topically. Does anyone here know the second way to use essential oils? Again, someone's going to answer, and then you give them another free little vial from your goodie bag. Okay, that goodie bag is becoming a hot commodity. The third way to use essential oils is internally. These essential oils are not only safe to use internally, they are recommended. The CPTG standards means that these oils are a medicinal grade and are completely safe to ingest, unlike other brands. You can put them in your mouth or drink them in water. If you don't like the taste, you can put them in a veggie capsule. It's like concocting your own natural remedy. What health concerns would be best to use internal application of essential oils? And again, you're going to let people comment and talk about different ways that they can take them internally. So the third way to use essential oils is through internal ingestion. Who here can tell me the third way to use essential oils? And again, let people answer. They're going to get a vial. And you're going to end this section by asking, who can tell me all three ways to use essential oils? Boom. Okay, we're going to be done. So they've learned three really cool things about essential oils, and now they've learned three ways to use essential oils. And then we're going to transition to the testimonial part of the class. So this is the funnest and most powerful part of the class. It only works if people have been properly sampled before the class, and if done right, your guests will offer each other social proof and powerful testimonials. So here's what we're going to say. Now is the funnest part of the class. For anyone who would like to come up and share an awesome experience you've had with doTERRA essential oils, I've got one of these sample oils for you. There are just 2 rules. You have to keep it under 60 seconds, and it cannot be the same health concern as someone else. So then you're going to pick on 3 volunteers. It doesn't matter who. Somebody might walk away with 2 vials. That's totally cool by this time. So you pick 3 people, and you're going to have them share, and then you're going to give them all a sample vial of oil. Now the question becomes, what happens if they go over a minute? So if someone goes over a minute, reinforce the rules without shaming them by saying, aw, you went over a minute, but I liked your story so much, I'm going to give you the oil anyways. And that's it. And you go ahead and you sit them down, and you start one of the key transition parts of your class. Here's the thing. Memorize this transition so that it becomes natural to you. Do not focus on explaining loyalty rewards program right now. You're going to go over that in detail in your wellness consult. So when we were in Prague, we had to memorize this transition and another 3 ways, another part that's coming up before we can get on the bus to tour. Like if we didn't have it memorized, we couldn't go on the tour. So we all wanted to go on the tour of Prague, and we had to memorize this. So here's the key transition, the 3 ways to purchase your essential oils. There are 3 ways to purchase your essential oils. The first way is retail. Nobody here is going to buy retail tonight. You'd only buy retail if you're going to the chiropractor's office, to a spa, or another health professional setting. It is the most expensive way to buy. The second way is wholesale. This is kind of like having a Costco card where you have an annual membership that gives you access to their great products at the best prices. With doTERRA, having a wholesale membership allows you to buy at 25% below retail price. And the third way, and the only way I buy my oils, is below wholesale. This is the smartest way to buy your oils, and you will learn more about this a little later. You're going to go on to say, as you have listened tonight about the power of essential oils and how it can change our lives, you might be thinking, wow, this is more than I can imagine. doTERRA wants to support you at this essential oil journey. Our goal is not just to have you have one bottle of Melaleuca for acne or Deep Blue for pain. Our goal is to teach you how to live a natural lifestyle so that when things come up like pain, allergies, cold, or the flu, and instead of reaching for medicine, you can reach for natural solutions that don't have side effects. doTERRA puts kits together that are cheaper than if you bought your oils individually. So if you add up the cost of all the oils, the kits will always be cheaper. All the kits include a free wholesale membership, and you'll have everything you need right at your fingertips. So let me tell you a few things about the kits. And this is how we're going to start closing with the kits. So you're going to briefly share you're going to basically share the Natural Solutions Kit, the Home Essentials Kit, and the Family Essentials Kit. And you're going to go on by saying, the Natural Solutions Kit is my favorite kit. It has everything you need to replace your entire medicine cabinet. You've got all the most important oils, a 10-hour diffuser, the amazing digestive enzymes and probiotics to support your gut, the incredible immune oils and soap and sanitizer and even soft gels to support you. And finally, the supplement trio. And you're going to briefly share about the LLV. Briefly, right? We don't go into all of it. This kit saves you $228 off of wholesale costs. So by far, it's the most cost-effective way to get started. The next kit is the Home Essentials Kit. This kit has the 10 most popular oils we've talked about today in the larger 15 ml bottles. It also has, well, now it has a 12-hour diffuser. This kit saves you $86.25 off the wholesale price. The third option is the Family Essentials Kit. This kit is the lowest price point, and it still comes with our most 10 popular oils in the small 5 ml bottles, but without a diffuser. This kit saves you, I think that's incorrect. It says $86.25 off the wholesale price, but that's incorrect. But let me give you a little tip. The Family Essentials Kit has 5 ml bottles, and the Home Essentials Kit has 15 ml bottles. And I would do this by demonstrating the difference in the size in the class. So you're gonna have a 5 ml and you're gonna have the 15 ml. Usually the Deep Blue and the frankincense is usually a good visual, right? So the kit has 5 ml bottles and the Home Essential Kit has 15 ml bottles. The Home Essentials Kit is 3 times more the amount of oil, but not 3 times the price, and it comes with a diffuser. So the Home Essential Kit is definitely a better value than the Family Essentials Kit. So when we talk about when we say value versus deal, like deal kind of devalues what we're offering because the oils are not a deal, right? We want to talk about the value of the products because these oils are going to bring value to their lifestyle. It's going to bring value to their whole health and wellness. It's going to bring value to their family's health and wellness. So we want to show how it brings value to their homes, right? So, watch your verbiage by not saying deal. And I know a lot of people say the word deal a lot, but let's talk about the value that we're bringing to their lives. So the next thing to talk about is, and this is kind of like, almost like our transition into the business a little bit. This is kind of like our part of our closing. This is another part of the class you want to have memorized, okay? You're going to be memorizing this entire script anyways, because I know I am, but definitely know that having this memorized is going to be very helpful to you because it's going to show your confidence in the products and your value that you're offering and the 3 different types of people. So there are 3 types of people who come to these classes. The first type of person is excited to live a natural solutions lifestyle. When they learn about the power of essential oils, they can't wait to share the products with their family. doTERRA supports this type of person by providing free monthly essential oil education. The second type is sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, my mother needs these oils, or I want my friend to learn about this. You're thinking about other people that can actually use these products. These people naturally want to share what they love. doTERRA supports this person through a generous system to reward people who share the products. As these people consistently share over time, they can have their oils, their oils they purchase paid for each month. We call this free natural healthcare. And there are thousands and thousands of people all over the world who are currently receiving free natural healthcare from doTERRA. The third type of person has been watching me the entire time and thinking, that's what I want to do. I want to change people's lives through educating people about the power of essential oils. You see, doTERRA rewards this person through an incredibly generous compensation plan. As these people educate others about the power of essential oils, they can earn enough to supplement or even replace their income so they become financially free. And those are the three types of people that you're going to share and talk about. So in closing, when you're starting to close the class, you're going to be ending with your most powerful testimony. This should be your most emotional, highest impact experience with essential oils. You want to show your authenticity, right? So you're just going to share your most powerful testimony. And I'll end the class. Me personally, I'm going to say, I'm here to tell you, 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme and co-infections. If I hadn't been living this naturally healthy lifestyle for many years, I know that I'd be more debilitated today than if I had not been living this lifestyle. It is because I've been empowered to use natural healthcare solutions through essential oils and vitamins and supplements that I'm actually able to keep my foundation solid and well. Because here's the thing I want to share with you. What happens if you were to be diagnosed with something scary and you didn't have this foundation of health? You'd be a lot worse off than if you do have the foundation. So that would be part of my testimony that I would share with people. And what people often have, they gasp, go, oh, you've got Lyme? You don't look like you have Lyme. Oh my goodness, And all of a sudden, when you share something that's your most powerful testimony, you become more relatable and people connect with you because you shared something very raw and real with your audience. It has to be the right thing that you want to share. You can share, I know people have shared about their kids' anxiety and depression. It can be something that's personal to you. And that's why you are there, standing in front of them, sharing about essential oils. So after you share your testimony, you're going to have them write 3 things that they want to improve upon. That's it, just 3 things, okay? They may say sleep and stress and weight loss. Okay, great. So they're just going to share your 3 things. So when you're closing the class, remember what you need. You need wholesale account and wellness advocate sign-up forms, paper and pens, enrollment kit handouts, essential oil books, or references guide to empower them. So you will need 20 minutes of time so that you and other wellness advocates can help everyone choose their kits. This is where you pass out the enrollment forms and the essential oil life books or other resource books. So everybody is going to get the essential life book to actually look on. So have everyone, after they've written down their top few health challenges on their handout or a simple piece of paper, encourage them by sharing your own health challenges when you started using essential oils. Some people are going to have a hard time coming up with needs. Remind everyone to include that emotional needs can also be addressed. So this is how you're going to ask them to write the 3 things down. This is one of my favorite parts of the class where you get to write down your top health challenges and then discover the solutions that will help you solve them. I'll share what mine are if you promise to write down yours. And you're going to share some samples. Then demonstrate how to use the book to look up their ailments, oils they're curious about, and how to find protocols. Okay, by having these books in the class and encouraging them to start looking in the book is going to begin to empower them to start taking charge, to say, oh, well, I can look in the book. I can look up these ailments. I can look up different protocols. That's the power of having your books there. So now we're going to come to you individually, answer questions, and help you find the best kit for your needs. And this is where you're going to be giving individual attention to everybody, right? So the first person you want to help is the person that has to leave the soonest. And you can kind of already know who this person is. Like they're kind of getting fidgety, they're looking at their phone, they might start to get they're starting to get things, getting ready to go. And what you're going to do is you're going to kneel next to them. You're going to get down their eye level, or don't hover over them. And you're just going to simply ask them, what are we working on? You're going to review their health challenges and help them write down products that they need according to what they're going to find in the book. and be sure to include the common oils for each ailment. And then you're going to suggest the kit that best fits their needs. And you're going to just simply say, here's what we're going to do. I suggest you start with blank kit. It has the name of the products, right, that you need to start addressing your health challenges. So I'm going to let you work on this enrollment form. You're going to show them where to write it out while I go help a few other people. Then I'll come back to check on you. What you're doing here is that you're assuming the sale. You're given a set of solutions with confidence by offering solutions to their top 3 concerns with the top common oils. Don't oversell or push bigger kits without a cause. Recommend what you truly feel they need. And this is how you're going to offer them to be and feel connected from you. So that we're going to be scheduling the wellness consult. So after they give you their enrollment form, you're going to say, okay, great. Because you've invested in yourself, I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to take some of my time and resources, and we're going to sit down and go over how to use your new oils to really address your health needs. I know you're excited about getting your oils right now, but you're going to forget a few things, right? And that's going to happen, right? So I want you to have phenomenal results. We'll create a morning, afternoon, and evening protocol so that you know exactly what to do. We can do this for everyone in your family if you like. It's always best to do this in your home because I can show you exactly how the oils will work around your house. So your kit is estimated to arrive around Tuesday. So why don't we schedule your consult for Thursday or Friday, right? And you're going to offer them 2 days or 2 times on a specific day, and which time works better for them. What we want to avoid is by saying, well, let me know what day of the week works best for you. Because what's going to happen is well, I'll get back to you because I got to look at my schedule. And we know what happens is that they will not get into your schedule. So you're going to give them 2 days and or 2 times in a specific day, asking which one works better for them. So I'm going to stop sharing because I know we're right at 9 o'clock. And I want to open it up for questions. So tomorrow, Kristen's going to go over the business class, or the business basics, and booking classes from classes. Is that right, Kristen? I think she's on here.
Correct.
Yes. So I ended with the wellness consults, and she's going to be talking booking classes from classes, the business part of it, why we're going to have food at the end of the class, not the beginning of the class. And then for people who want to buy but have money concerns, and how you're going to combat that. So let me go in the chat here. If there's any questions, how many oil hardcovers are we talking? The classes are just paperback type of guide booklets. Allison just answered that. Elise says a spiral bound essential life books. I actually just ordered 8 essential oil life books, and then I ordered the A to Z guides from that same place, so that I have those ready to go. And they're going to want to ask to have that, or if it's for sale, and you just want to make sure that, these aren't the only copies I have from my classes, but here is where you can get your own book, right? Again, we want to empower them to have their own resources so that they can look up their ailments, because they've already started looking it up in the classes, right? But if you have an A to Z guide that you would like to give to them, if they did not get one as a sample, please have those available for them so they have a little something to go off of. And of course, you can tell them about. So the question is, what if you have people hosting classes for you that aren't sampling their guests, like my shares? Well, what you'll have to do is you have to ask the host or the sharers to say, great, you know what, part of how I want to make sure that your class has a positive essential oil experience. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give all of your people a sample of an essential oil to experience for their top health ailment. Why don't we work together to figure that out, and then I can give them the sample vial. So no more EO book for Laura. So one of the things and it's a good question to ask, one of the things that we want to make sure is that this is duplicatable for the person who's just beginning. So we want to keep this as low cost as we can. If you would like to offer the host a gift, you know, again, keep it simple. This is what I shared in Prague, and this is what I do for people that host classes. And I briefly mentioned to Elise, and she's like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. You can totally do that. I always have 2 hand soaps, 2 pumps, excuse me, and I have 1 hand soap, and I fill it up halfway for the bathroom, fill the rest up with water, and I fill the other half up, and then I fill the other half with water. I stick 1 in the kitchen and 1 in the bathroom. So this way, when they go to the bathroom, they can already get a sample of the soap, and I just leave the soaps there for the guest. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you had soap. Or if someone comes out of the bathroom like, oh, that's really good soap. That's like really great, right? It's just one way to kind of subtly share a product that we have that they never ever would have thought of getting, or they never even thought that we had. So that's what I do for gifts. And then sometimes I'll give like right now I have a bunch of On Guard hand sanitizers and a bag of On Guard drops. So I kind of keep it like immune focused for the fall. I aim to keep it under 25 PV because I can cash in my points and use it as hostess gifts. Again, something like that, just soap, is a duplicatable. So yeah, and the hostess gift is a keychain, and you fill it with the samples, which Kristen's going to go over with how to book classes from classes tomorrow. So we give away 5/8 drams. I like the 1/4 drams to be given away because I just keep it 10. I use 10 to 12 drops in those, and it looks like it's more full. If you're doing 10 to 12 drops in a 5/8 dram, it looks kind of like, oh, it's not filled up. That's kind of, you know, they might be disappointed, right? So if you're using a 1/4 dram, fill it up with 10 to 12 drops of oil. It looks more full. That's what I like to use for the keychains and my sample vials. The 5/8 drams are really great for diluting the product with. So if you feel like you want to dilute digestin oil in a 5/8 dram, you may feel free, so it's easier for topical use. But I personally like the 1/4 drams, yes, and they're cuter.
Lisa has a question.
Lisa, I have a question. I'll like typing when you get a second. Is that just for me, Lisa, or do you want to ask?
No, it's a group question.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So when you're going around to everybody at the end and having them fill out their form or whatever, do you like walk away and go to the next person while they're filling it out? Mm-hmm. And then like when they hand it in to you, then schedule the wellness consult?
Yes, you got it. So yeah, you can say, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go help so-and-so over here while you go ahead and fill this out, and I'll come back to you and answer any final questions that you may have.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when they turn in the form, that's when you have like your planner out, your notebook, and you have your calendar, right? That's your weekly success schedule. So we should already know what times we have available in our schedule before we come to class, especially if you're following that weekly success schedule. So have those times blocked for yourself that you know you're going to be available to do those wellness consults. So yeah, Amy's offering some suggestions. Yeah. So the awkward time is who's first with their order. I don't know if I understand that, Laura. Oh, yeah, go to the person who has to leave first. So the person who's fidgeting, the person's kind of like, I got to hurry up and get out of here. That's the person that you're going to go to first and help with. Because once they leave, you've lost them, right? So the goal is to kind of re-engage them before they leave and just talk with them really quickly about their 3 concerns. Just say, hey, just look through this really quick and let's see how we can help support you. Yeah, so the full script, yeah. So here's the thing that I did, you guys, and just a really good tip for you guys is that I downloaded an app called Voice Memos, and I recorded like the three customers, the 3 ways, 3 types. I recorded that, and then I can listen to it later. And then I recorded myself teaching, reading the script, and then I can listen to it while I'm in the car. And that repetitiveness is going to allow me to memorize how I teach a class. But there's also value in hearing yourself right? You can value and hear in yourself. So this way you can make corrections and change yourself. This is the trick I do before I present anytime, is that I'll kind of like record myself presenting the content. And then before I go on to a stage with doTERRA or whatever, I'm confident in how I'm going to present the information. So.
Jasmine, I had to step out for a second. Did you talk about the 2 paragraphs that they really should try to memorize?
Yes. So, yes. So let me go back. Yeah, I didn't get to that part yet. I wanted to. So here we go, guys. Since this is an online training, right? Elise is really big on role playing, but it's hard to role play with everybody, right, on this call, because like everyone's gonna be chattering. So here is your homework, and these are on the calls as well. So if you go back to calls 11 through 20, I think it's more like 10, 15, no, I'm sorry, more like in the teens. There are 2 things that we want you all to memorize, and that is the 3 ways to purchase your essential oils, right? So you got to have that memorized, and then the 3 types of people. So those are 2 things we want you to have memorized, and here's what we want you to do. Okay, you got a couple options. 1, you're going to video record yourself saying these 2 things from script memorized. Okay, you're going to record yourself. So this way you record yourself, you can't be reading, right? And you're going to send it to your nearest diamond upline that went to Prague. So if your nearest diamond upline is Amy Connor, then you're going to send her the video. If your nearest diamond upline is Allison, then you're going to send her the video. Okay. Your other option is that if you want to get on Zoom or on FaceTime with your nearest diamond upline, then you can then do that, schedule that time, show them that you have this memorized. All of us are going to have a little special gift for you when you do this. So go to your nearest diamond upline though, so that we're all not like, there's no favorites here, right? So just go to your nearest diamond upline and show that you have these 2 things memorized. Again, it's the 3 types of people, and it's the 3 ways to purchase. Have this script memorized, and I'll let you guys work with your nearest diamond upline to schedule that time to either send them the video or to do a FaceTime or a Zoom call with them. Okay? Does that sound like a fair deal? All right. Because if you're going to go to the Nashville training, you're going to be role playing this live anyways. Yeah, scripts are on the daily mentor calls and also in a PDF form in the Dream Team units. So yeah, the app is called Voice Memo. Melanie says, I have 2 classes this week. I'm not prepared. Should I only add parts? It feels weird not teaching the top 10. I know, right? But you see how much easier it is to teach a top 10 where you're giving oils as samples, right? Melanie, I know you can do this, but definitely memorize those 3 ways. But I bet you can teach a class without having to teach the top 10.
I've talked to people that implemented this before we even had our first call last week. They just started listening to the daily mentor calls and just went to already implemented this. This is a few people on Dream Team even, and they said they had 100% enrollment at their class, and they were blown away by how well this worked. And that was just from them listening to the daily mentor calls. So we didn't even discuss anything on here yet. So I know it's scary. Like, I mean, I'm even a little nervous about like just jumping in on my first class and implementing something that I don't feel like I'm like 100% like confident, because I don't have it memorized yet, right? So I mean, I have those 2 paragraphs memorized, but I don't have like the whole script memorized. Whereas I could teach the other class in my sleep. I've taught so many classes. So it is scary, but just know that like your diamond and above and presidential uplines are nervous too. Like, we're having to teach a brand new way as well. I would just jump into it and do it and use your script, like use your piece of paper. I mean, my first few classes that I taught, I used a handout and I literally read off the handout. Now, I'm not recommending that you read off the handout, but that's what I did. I was a nervous wreck because I'm like, what am I doing? I know nothing about essential oils except for they work and how I've used them on my family. Who am I to be teaching this class? Those are the thoughts that went through my head when my first classes. But I mean, I ended up Presidential Diamond, not knowing what the heck I was doing and reading off of a handout my first class. So, we're starting all over. We're doing it with you. We're starting all over, and I'm going back to a new piece of paper to read off of. So, it is going to be nerve wracking. I'm right there with you. I mean, it is for
Yeah.
me as well, but we got to start somewhere, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, like I totally share in the beginning, like I overtaught classes and people are like, I'm going to get breathe or I'm going to get on guard. I'm just going to get lavender. And I was just always like, why do they only want oils? And it was so defeating. It's because I overtaught the class. So, you know, I'm not going to go up there and share, oh, I've got a master's in public health and maternal and infant health education and nutrition. Like nobody cares about my education. They just want to know that I use oils, that I'm a mom, and then I can teach people how to have fun and teach an effective class. That's it by the end of the day. You know, but if your powerful testimony is about financial freedom and time freedom, then share that at the end, what doTERRA has done for you. That's all. Like, if that's part of your testimony, say, you know, Kristen, and be like, you know, my goal was to not work full time so I can be home and raise my babies. And because of doTERRA, I've been, you know, that's her testimony, right? You know, or share a powerful testimony with the emotional effects of oil. So share your powerful testimony at the end. And if that includes about your job or whoever it is, you know, that business aspect should be shared, the business part. The powerful testimony is about the physical, emotional stuff. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to confuse you. So yeah, so don't be afraid. Like people just want to be able to relate and connect to you. That's all. That's all. They don't want to know that you're, you know, got a PhD in chemistry and you're, you know, that you're Dr. Hill's assistant and, you know, or whatever. So just be you. Any other questions, guys, before we close out? You guys can do this, right? Totally. Yeah. Doesn't it feel better? Isn't there like a sense of relief? You're like, oh, I can totally do this. And I can totally teach someone else how to do this. So it's pretty freeing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're good. Well, everyone, the second half of this is going to be tomorrow with Kristen, same time, 8 p.m. at Central Standard Time. Will it be the same Zoom link? I don't know, but they'll post a new Zoom link for tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And that we will get this recording up as soon as it's done downloading and all that good stuff. So you guys got homework. You got to sample out to 20 people. You've got to have classes booked and ready for after those samples. And you got to memorize those 2 things to share with your nearest diamond and upline for a surprise gift from your nearest diamond upline. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.